Hey, welcome, episode 5 to the Cruising Brothers. I don't know exactly what our official name is, but we're something. So
We're still working that. Leave a comment and if you have a good name for us.
positive comment. Main dining room. Now this is something we're not people that skip the dining room in any cruise and go to the buffet. That's just not us. Rarely do we do paying restaurants. We've done them on Norwegian cruises, stuff like that. Most of the time we just stick to the main dining room that's free. That's just sort of our thing.
Yeah, that's the highlight of the night for us is kind of, sort of getting a little bit dressed up and going and eating a good meal and talking about your day because, everybody does their own thing during the day and you meet up and eat dinner at night.
Yeah, especially with a bigger crowd, but with it's just us, with ours, it was just us three. It was kind of different, but still, no. What we do sort of dress up the traditional way, and do dress up for the formal nights and everything like that. But one of the big changes that was made in the last 10, 15 years was the anytime dining. Everybody calls it freestyle or whatever, but no, that's one of the things we've adjusted to and really liked is not having a set dining time, and we like that. So
that's kind of a debate. In general, I do anytime dining just because it's just so convenient. You don't have to eat at a certain time, but the trade-off is
the shows
and you can plan it, but the trade-off is your wait staff is not really friendly, and that's one of my complaints is that I rarely had I think I had one friendly waiter the whole time. And you just don't get that personal service.
Your service is better in a set time where you're familiar. They're familiar with what you like and everything like that. Simple little things like lemons on the table, what you like to drink, that kind of stuff. So,
I know some people are in a hurry when they go there, and we're not. We're the kind that just like to relax and take our time. So that
kind of people. We were just wanting it in and out. So when they piled 3 dishes on our plate, we were happy because that means we got to eat them and get out the door because. Actually, and that's another episode, but cruising with a toddler changed everything about our cruising. So that was sort of another story for another day. But now what we did do the set time. Like I said, and part of the thing too with Carnival is they'll do the waiters sing, and there's some of the talent there in the dining room.
It's a really a fun atmosphere, and you miss.
We missed it but now a couple of times the freestyle or anytime dining was full, so they moved us 2 times during this time. We ate in the main dining room at the set time it was the late seating, but it was in not the Palm, but the other Flamingo. And we got to see some of the shows, and I said the lady that sung in the dining room was better than the talent on the ship, it seemed like. And boy, she could sing and tackle a big song twice. We heard her, and she did really well. So, but that's what you don't get with the freestyle anytime dining.
And the big change, I guess, for this is that there's a couple, quote, paid restaurants that are free on the Mardi Gras for the foreseeable future. So we're going to go over that. And those are the Italian restaurant,
Cucina del Capitano.
Chibang, and then the Guy's Barbecue. I think that's a little misleading. I don't think they're paid restaurants.
It's just
free.
Rotational dining, as someone had mentioned.
It's basically fancy rotational dining. I think the food in general is on par with the main dining room.
It's not like you're going to go to the Japanese steakhouse there and you cook the hibachi and get that kind of experience.
Which, again, I like because it gives you a couple of days if you don't like the menu of, okay, let me come here, and it does kind of.
There's always a couple of days it doesn't fit anybody's preference. So what we did is, as far as the worst experience, not necessarily food related, but we went one night late dinner to Chibang, and it was popular, crowded all week, but it was more of the atmosphere. I mean, they have the tables crammed so close together to get more people in there that you couldn't hardly walk between them, and the acoustics were terrible. I mean, it was a restaurant where we're sitting as close as we are, my wife and I, we couldn't even talk to each other. It was so loud.
Really?
I mean, it literally that. But it was packed though. I mean,
we went there the first night.
We were night 3, I think, of the cruise, and it was just like you felt like your head was in a steel drum. And they were, not the waiter or waitress's fault, but it still makes for the experience kind of not bad, but as far as that goes, Chibang, you know, we felt like, and I had talked to my mother who did the cruise with Brandon, is that the appetizers there were better than the main entrees. But we did strictly the Chinese. My wife had something, I didn't get much than it. She had a Mexican dish, and I forget exactly what it was, but it was unedible almost. It was bad.
Yeah, it's a little more, if you got picky eaters like we got a couple in our family, it's probably not the place for
But
them.
the pot stickers were really good. They were good. That was good. And the Kung Pao chicken was okay. It was nothing special, but it was good. But it was our...
But their desserts are lacking.
Yeah, we did the chocolate sea bang thing. It was kind of thing. But then the Quesado Capito we did that one night too.
Yeah, I thought it was the best meal I had outside of the lobster night. It was the best meal I had.
It was
out for dinner the whole time.
Well, we had done it in the past, and we knew the portions were big. And even though the food was free, it's like, well, I just don't want to order food just to waste it. So we actually split the chicken parmesan. Both of us split the chicken parmesan. The portion was so big and left food.
Yeah,
I mean, it was humongous.
Yeah,
it was good though, but it was just huge portion. And we did a couple appetizers, and the tiramisu is always a hit there too. So. But it was
one thing about that restaurant is a small thing, but when I went there, they asked me if the person just handed me a big old glass of water and put it on the table, and it was my free platinum water, and I didn't know that and didn't really want my free platinum water.
the liter bottle.
Yeah. So
we had to go track ours down. They're keeping that stuff quiet, but we did get. You go to any bar and get that, but.
The emeralds is there again. We've talked about that, and I did not get. I'll put this in here, but I got the beignets. Am I pronouncing that right? Mm-hmm. And they were excellent.
I've heard rave reviews on those.
Yeah, I mean it was like we said. I would order it again, and I will.
That's not our area of expertise, though, is rating beignets.
Yeah. But I don't. But I did talk to some people that was beside me that were from Louisiana, and they approved of it as well.
Yeah, and I've heard great things about them.
The Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse and the Bonsai Teppanyaki, or
I really don't know how crowded they were the week we were there. I mean, I didn't.
I know the teppanyaki you have to book it in advance. There is one seafood restaurant that I have absolutely amazing reviews about, and we almost tried it but didn't, and that's the Rudy Sea Grill.
Same thing. I've heard it was great, but
I mean it's a little more pricey. You're talking about $40 a person.
Yeah, that's just but I've heard it's great seafood.
But I mean another. More ended up. You got any
yeah. You talk about. We had one guy the last night of the cruise had always said that really was the best waiter we had. He was Joseph. His name was Joseph, and he was wonderful with our son. I mean, taking pictures with him, stopping what he was doing, and just got a great picture of him to go. And he was just the guy that you wished you found day 1, but you found day 7. So it's just kind of how it goes. But he was.
We had the same thing happen. I think we found a waitress on day 5 or 6 or something like that, and when I asked for her the last day, apparently everybody lied.
We literally were day 7.
Her table was full.
Yeah. So.
And like I said, what is your final? What would you rate it 1 to 10?
The main dining room was good. I mean, maybe an 8. It was good. I mean, I didn't leave hungry any nights if it wasn't my choosing. But sometimes you eat so much for lunch, you don't want a lot for dinner.
Yeah, so. I think I will probably rate this the lowest I have for anything. I'm gonna rate it probably a 7. It was good, but 7, maybe 7.5.
I still have a help shortage thing too. It was much better from May to September.
Yeah. I requested 4 different waiters and wait staff, and I only got it 1 out of 4 days. Iced
tea was hard to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some small things like that. But like I said, the menu you could always.
The quality of the food was good though.
Yeah, I have no complaints about the quality of the food.
That's more staffing than food quality.
The other stuff.
This is 17 minutes.
All right, we're going to cut her off now. We're at 17 minutes.
All right.